today. I knew Joyce because she came into the Oliver house one day. She called and asked for an appointment, and I said sure. But I didn't know exactly who she was, and I had never met her. I never had gone to any Wednesday, although we lived in the old West End. So here she comes in, totally in purple. Maybe some of you saw the outfit. Beret, cloak, everything was purple. And I was so impressed that I probably stuttered. But she wanted to open a coffee shop. And little did I know that that appointment was going to change my life. A lot more than it changed hers, I'm sure. She brought in people. She established the coffee house with Mary and Sally, and brought in people that I never would have had a connection with, and was thrilled. She was so full of life. She was so positive. She was such a positive thinker, and she gave me courage, and did a lot for the Oliver House back in the 1980s, 90s. So not yet, early 90s. So I'm forever grateful, and I'm forever thankful for the people who know her. This is a great day, and I also want to tell you that besides the Joyce Perrin memorabilia here in the park, there's more that will help her gifts to the arts community live on. And the Toledo School of the Arts is going to honor a staff or teacher every year in her name, because she always felt that it was the people that, it wasn't just the artists, it was the people who helped, that gave the whole effort. So I'm not going to talk too much about that isn't today, but Dave Gierke's here somewhere, and he can, if anyone's interested in this Joyce Perrin Award at the Toledo School of Arts, it'll be given annually in April. You can talk to him about it.
Or we can bring him up on stage.
Or we can bring him up on stage.
Yeah! I love Well, good, because you're going to hear a lot of it.
Pat will not tell you, but I will tell you that Pat set up this fund. It's called the Joyce Perrin Award. One of the problems we have at Toledo School for the Arts is paying our staff competitive wages, because we only operate on state funds. But we've built an amazing culture of staff and students. We're 22 years old. Pat had created the fund, and it will create an award for a staff member every year, chosen by students. And this staff member exemplifies the TSA mission. And if you want to give to that award, you're more than welcome to do that. You can just log on to our website, and in memory of Joyce Perrin, anything that comes in memory of Joyce Perrin will go right to our fund at Toledo Community Foundation and help build that. But it will live in perpetuity thanks to Pat. So Pat and her family. So thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Okay, there.
I got it. All right. Do you want me to go?
Yes, I do. We have a brother missing in action. He's just going to have to be missing in action for the moment. If anybody's recording this, please share it with me so I can share this with them, because our next speaker is our cousin, Bonnie Sue. And she'll be speaking with them. In honor of Aunt Joyce. Yeah. Okay. You know, Aunt Joyce loved bright colors. Absolutely loved them. And when I was speaking to my granddaughter, who is now 23, she told me a story that she'll never forget. When she was 7, it would be great Aunt Joyce, I think it would be to her, was sitting with her on the pontoon raft at the lake. And she had a headband, and she had clothes on, of course, and she had her fingernails painted, and her toenails painted. They were all in the same color. Bright color. Everything matched. And my granddaughter will never forget that. She thought it was so cool. I am Bonnie Brown McMullen, Joyce's niece. My father, Thayer Brown, was Aunt Joyce's big brother. She also had another brother, Stanley, and a sister, Eloise. All three preceded her in death. One story I would like to share with you is when my parents got married, Joyce was only 13, and she was very close to my dad. She asked, "May I please go on your honeymoon with you?" What do you think my father said? He said, "No, Joycey, I don't think so." She cried, and she cried, and she cried. I'll never forget them telling me that story. Joyce was born May 18th, 1929, in Toledo, Ohio, to Walter and Ethel Brown. She graduated from DeVobis High School in 1947. She passed at the age of 91 on October 4th, 2002. She was married 4 times to Jorge Fenton, Dr. Leo Janice, Ray Patrick, and Mark Perrin. She was blessed by 8 wonderful children. 3 of them preceded Aunt Joyce in death. They are Alejandra, Carla, and George Jr. Surviving are Casey, Regan, Michael, Tony, and Ron. In each marriage, Aunt Joyce always found time for others. Once on a trip back from Mexico, she bought my cousin and I, Lindy, she bought us pink and blue pinafores. We were only 3 or 4. She always made sure we were included in family get-togethers. Right, Casey? I loved getting together with my cousins. Now, I just noticed today on the pictures over here, there is a picture of Aunt Joyce. She was probably about 5 or 6.
4.
Oh, she was 4? And she looks or my cousin Lindy looked just like Aunt Joyce.
Didn't I know that?
Yeah. Some of her involvements included serving on many art boards, directing activities at the former Portside, taxi driver, bet you didn't know that, yoga instructor, gallery owner, actress, model, dancer, Arts Commission honoree, and was crowned Queen Sancha in 2006. One thing in Joyce's list of many things is she was the hostess for Any Wednesday, and Any Wednesday was a musical jam session, and I see a couple of people clapping, because that's probably what, go ahead and clap. Yeah. Okay, that was, I heard somebody say, gosh, I love that. It was held on Wednesdays at her house down over here in Glenwood. And it was so much fun, and there were people from all walks of life there. It was just great. When it started in 1963, I don't think the cards were available yet, but if you look at what I have on, I have an Any Wednesday original card.
Nice.
And you can look at it. I'll be walking around with this on. Probably won't take it off until tomorrow. And when you got your card, it was numbered. And my number was 24.
Wow.
So that was early on. Go ahead. So you wore this card. You paid $5 at the door, and you were given a red Solo cup, and I'm glad to see we have those today. And those were for your beverages. It was so much fun. Joyce always had a positive attitude. If something negative came her way, she would turn the situation into a life learning lesson.
Yes.
And I had a lot of those. She was accepting to all regardless of their race or religion. Everyone was welcome into her house or her home on Glenwood. Her soothing voice will always be remembered forever. She is with us today. See, this is Aunt Joyce.
Yes.
It is. This is Aunt Joyce right here. And we have the pictures and the band. No, I don't want to call it a band. Drum circle. And everything. All the people. This is Aunt Joyce. Psalms 101 says, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord." Thank you.
Yeah!